What's up, nerds? This is your official spoiler warning, so if you haven't finished the patch 2.0 main story or the companion mission, I would suggest clicking off the video and watching it later. You've been warned. Alright, now that that's over, we can talk about the fact that people are all kinds of upset. People are super duper all up in arms about their favorite waifu, Firefly, getting skewered straight through the chest like a shish kebab, even though they spent literally one day with her, took one picture with her, and were even turned down and told that it wasn't a date. But that's not the important part. I have found some evidence that proves that Firefly is not only probably still alive, but might help further the theory that Firefly and Sam are the same person. I put out a video about this same topic covering several different things that we have evidence for up to the point before the patch 2.0 story, but now that we have the 2.0 story, I discovered yet even more, and I even found something that I have not heard literally anybody else talking about yet. So let's go ahead and stop waffling about and talk about this. Now, I do suggest you watch this entire theory because you won't understand everything that we're trying to get to here unless you do. That's kind of how it works. And I do suggest you watch the other theory video as well. I'll put a link to it in the pinned comment and description below. I will cover the most important parts that we need to understand from that video here today, but you probably might want to get some extra context from that in case you don't really believe what I'm saying here. So let's go ahead and move forward. Alright, now I want to show you guys something that I only recently noticed because of the overly down bad Firefly sims that keep posting the same death scene over and over and over and over again. And I'll be honest, I wouldn't have noticed this if I didn't see it like 5,000 times. Now, I don't know why it took so long for me to notice this, because it should have been blatantly obvious. So here's the scene, here it begins. Oh, Firefly's like, oh my god, everybody! And everybody's like, oh my god, Firefly, oh my god! And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this nightmare dreamscape monster beast comes through and is just like, hell yeah! By the way, completely avoids everyone, except for Firefly. I thought that was super weird. Is it being controlled by somebody? Is there something else going on that we don't know? And then this moment happens and we're like, oh, hell no. And it looks bad. You knew in this moment it was like, may chaos take the world! And then boom! Oh yeah, skewered straight through the chest like a shish kebab. And it gets better, Oh, she starts to cry. Oh no, she starts crying. By the way, I know I'm being insensitive. I love pissing off the overly down bad simps, okay? So just stop freaking out, okay? Everything's gonna be fine, and I'll explain why, okay? I do not think that Firefly is dead, like, at least not completely, and I'll get to that in just a second here. So this is not the important part, but I just wanted to point this out. There's no wound. There's no wound here. She was just straight up skewered through the chest, no wound. We saw a wound on Robin, but we didn't see a wound on Firefly. Now, there might be some weird thing going on where, like, if you're skewered here by this dreamscape monster, maybe you're skewered in the real world, but not here. I don't really know. That's because we found Robin in the real world. This what is happening in front of us right now. This is in the dreamscape. It's a little bit weird, but there's no blood, which I understand. We're in the dreamscape, so there's like this dreamscape goop instead. And again, this is not the important part. This is the important part right here. Did y'all notice this thing? Because I don't know why I didn't notice this the first time. But it wasn't until people posted this like 5,000 times and I finally watched it again for like the second time that I actually saw this. This little golden orb that leaves her body and then floats upward, right? It's almost like her soul or something like her soul leaves her body and then floats upward. Now, I don't think this is a bad thing. I consider this to be a good thing. And I'll explain a little bit further. I just wanted to show you guys this because I guarantee not everybody noticed this right here. Now, again, we'll just keep looking at this for a second. It floats upward. Oh, wait, I went a little bit too far forward. My bad. So this thing leaves Firefly's body and then it floats upward. And you see it even for a sec right there. So I want to point out that Black Swan points out that the dreamscape is sinking further. There it is right there, still floating upward. And the dreamscape is floating further into the sea. Oh, sorry, it's sinking, sorry. It's sinking further into the sea. And the further it sinks, the more at risk everything becomes, the more the dreamscape collapses in on itself, because the family have essentially created this like safe zone within the dreamscape. And inside the safe zone, you're good. But the further it sinks, the further, like, the whole thing starts to unravel. The whole thing starts to fall apart. Yo, Editor Pancake, I just wanted to point out something really quick for all the people that end up leaving this video early because they have the attention span of a goldfish and they won't stick around for when I explain this better later in the video. This golden orb is likely floating upwards, likely because if the real Firefly is in the real world and the dreamscape is sinking, when this golden orb, aka Firefly's soul, which just so happens to look like a real Firefly, I don't know if you guys noticed that or not, it's likely floating upwards because if the dreamscape is sinking, it needs to float upwards to her real body in the real world, right? Anyways, bada bing, bada boom, just wanted to point that out. And then these massive dreamscape beast things start to sort of run rampant and create problems for everybody. This big old dreamscape beast right here, a whole bunch of these things could be lying around, you know what I mean? So it starts to become very risky, very scary, and the family is sort of keeping this to themselves. All right, so I just want to point out this little golden orb right here, right? This little golden orb resembles something very interesting. And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but this looks just like that little golden orb, doesn't it? These are fireflies. This is what a real-life firefly looks like when it is dark enough for their little butts to, like, glow. So this is another firefly bug. And you might notice that it almost looks like it's got a little jetpack on. I'll get to that in just a moment. This is, again, a firefly bug, a little bit closer up. But I wanted to point out that this here is what a firefly looks like in the dark. It looks like a little golden glowing orb. Now, I don't know if you guys saw the other video that I did on this subject, but let's go ahead and take a look at this here. A lot of people, myself included, suspect very heavily that Sam and Firefly are potentially the same person. I mean, look at what you see on screen here. You see Sam flying around with wings, and it's leaving a trail. A trail a lot like fireflies leave a trail. Very, very interesting. So, again, that's a really important thing to point out, that there's a lot of clues here showing us that Sam is likely Firefly or related to Firefly in some way. Let's look at the color scheme here. We got gold. We got, like, you know, that dark black color. We got white. We have this turquoise color. And we have literally the black, gold, turquoise, white, and the same color scheme going on here. And why the hell would Sam need wings? Sam is a mech. It's a mech suit. It's been told to us by the developers that it's a mech suit. Why would Sam need to have wings? It could just use propulsion, like a rocket pack. It doesn't, like a jetpack. It doesn't need wings. This is clearly meant to be a hint that Sam has some relation to Firefly, or might even be Firefly. Okay, Sam looks to us to be like kind of like a fire type character that flies around. Firefly. You get what I'm putting down here? Okay? Now let's take a look at something else that's really important to point out here. All right, so you notice here that Firefly fades away in the music video that we got. That's Firefly right there in the background. And she sort of fades away, and people thought that, oh no, Firefly's gonna die. She's fading away. Is she really fading away? Or is this the Sam transformation? Because we don't know how Firefly becomes Sam. And it's very anime-esque, very anime style, that Firefly will jump off of a building and transform into Sam, like right there in real time, or something like that. Because we don't actually see her disappear. We see her go off screen. If you notice the angle, we were like higher up here, and then the camera moves down like this. We just don't see her anymore. She doesn't disappear. We just see this glow, these little sparkly glows that look just like these fireflies. She literally like turns into a bunch of fireflies, probably while she turns into Sam. That's at least my suspicion as of right now, is that Firefly transforms into like Sam through this process that you see right here. That's at least my suspicion right now, and a lot of people feel the same way. Let's go ahead and take a look at something else here. In the exact place that Firefly was skewered like a shish kebab, we find Sam. the Stellaron Hunter, conveniently, the dude who literally looks just like Firefly in terms of the color scheme. And he also says something very interesting. I'm saying he because the game said he, but that's just what Black Swan said. We don't actually know this character's gender. We only know that Black Swan said he for some weird reason. But I have a feeling that Black Swan has only seen Sam and assumed that Sam was a guy. But that's not necessarily the case. Black Swan is not all-knowing, and Black Swan has already fooled us before. She literally tricks us shortly after all of this stuff goes down. So we can't fully believe every character in this game, and we especially can't believe somebody like a Memo Keeper that has the ability to make us think things that may or may not have even happened. She can alter our memories, and she'll make us believe whatever the hell she wants, because the devs have already told her, or the devs have already told us, that Black Swan's smile is not always genuine, and that she'll do anything to get her hands on a good memory, including lying to us, which she's already basically done. So Sam says something very interesting here that I want to point out. Where is it? Come on now. A Galaxy Ranger. So Sam didn't even know. By the way, Sam did not know that a Galaxy Ranger and a Memo Keeper were with the Trailblazer until now. Sam pretty much just did like a scan on the people in front of Sam, and that's how Sam figured out who these two were. Sam doesn't know who these other two are. Another interesting thing was said. Okay, so here it is. I almost missed it. So Sam says, the detective game is over. You shouldn't be here, right? That's huge, okay? Because how the hell does Sam know there's an investigation going on right now? Not very many people even know about this. You might say, oh, well, Sam's a Stellaron Hunter. Don't the Stellaron Hunters know there's an investigation going on? No, they don't necessarily know that. The Stellarons did have communication with us, but they didn't know what we were actually going to do, right? The Stellaron Hunters don't know what we were doing. Only Firefly and the Astral Express, and then any associated people like Acheron and Black Swan, those are the only people that actually know that there was an investigation going on. So how the hell did Sam find out? How did the Stellarons find out? I don't think it was the Stellarons that told Sam. I think Sam knows because of Firefly. Now, Sam could have, like, interrogated Firefly, gotten it out of her, but I don't think that's the case. I think Sam and Firefly are the same person. That's how they knew, right? Now, Sam should know who the Trailblazer is, which is why Sam did not, like, scan the Trailblazer to find out who they were. Sam already knows. So that's to be fair, that's probably why that happened. But I believe that Sam and Firefly are the same person, and that Firefly's like little, like, I don't know what you'd call it, Firefly's soul left their body and are why Firefly is actually safe. Because I think that Firefly's little soul, a little Firefly, left Firefly's body, which is essentially like her soul, and went up to the real world and went into the battle suit, and that Firefly is controlling Sam's battle suit in this way. I don't really know how it works 100%. None of us know how the battle suit works 100% right now. A lot of people will say, oh, Sam's too big for Firefly to fit inside. Bro, it's a mech. If you know anything about mechs, the size of the person and the mech don't really fully matter. Like, you could be controlling the mech from, like, a distance, in fact. So I just wanted to point out this stuff to you guys. I wanted to point out that Firefly is probably fine, and that Firefly and Sam, the theory of them being the same person, is probably still very valid. So all the super duper down bad Firefly simps, rejoice, because this is really, really good information, and Firefly is likely okay. Now, don't get me wrong. I want this patch to start getting really, really dark, but I want it to be more meaningful. I feel like we need to build some better relationships with some of these characters before they start dying. You know what I mean? We spent literally one day with Firefly, and they're going to offer immediately. It was a pretty good day, but I still feel like if anyone's going to die, that we're going to have to create a better relationship with them so that it really, really stings when they die. Like what happened with Ting Yun. That was at least more developed than what's happened here with Firefly. Now, I still think Ting Yun's alive, but I want to see some characters actually die in this patch. And I don't think Annihilation Gang is dead either. We'll probably explore that a little bit further in the future. You guys let me know if you got any cool, interesting theories about this patch so far, and I'll probably consider making videos about them. There's so many different things going on right now that we can make videos about, because there are so many, cliffhangers and things left unsaid in the game, but there are a ton of clues that have been left for us as well. I'll stop waffling. I'll get out of your hair. I'll see you next time. Enjoy patch 2.0, and peace out.